Hey guys, so the NDA has lifted finally after I want to say close to a year, at least since the beginning of last year. We have not gotten so much ISLA content and news sprouting up, and with that I wanted to do a video for you guys. This is probably going to be, this is something completely out of the realm for me normally. And so just kind of bear with me. This is definitely not my typical, but I figured that I owed it to you guys to kind of give you guys an overall like showing of a lot of the stuff that has been accumulated for this video on the Recode and a lot of the things that are coming. There's quite a lot to go through here. This isn't going to be a show a few things type of video, and this isn't going to be showing like 3 or 4 different things and that's it. This is going to be quite a lot of stuff. A few days ago there was the poster of the new ISLA poster that was dropped, and as you guys can kind of see, there is it looks like a Rex foot of some sort. I believe it's a Rex foot footprint with a human skull kind of thrown in the middle there, and with a shotgun and some shells thrown around, basically kind of hinting at the future coming of the humans that are going to be posted in there. Everybody kind of knows the humans are supposed to be in the ISLA, and as we know, they're not implemented yet, but that is really nice to see. And actually, I would love to have a actual full poster of this. This would be great. Let's go ahead and get into this some of this Q&A stuff here. So there was a posting of that phase 2 was initiated. I believe that was a little bit later, but the significance of that is that phase 2 is that the devs are coming back from their holiday vacations and basically are going to start releasing information regularly and going to start being vocal about this. So there's some significance in that. But let's go ahead and get into some of the questions and stuff. We'll start with the small stuff and work our way kind of bigger here. This user asked, "Hey Kissin, has the Alberto gotten a new model, or are there plans for Alberto in general?" And the answer was, it's getting fixed up. So that basically kind of confirms that the Alberto is staying. It's going to get obviously improved, and that's pretty good considering that mostly I didn't have too many problems with the model of it, but it would be nice to have some of the movement improved. As we all know, it's kind of just based on the current Subrex model movement. So that'll be great. There was also another question, any love for the Anki? And the response was, it's getting remade. So that's also good news, as well as the Anki had kind of a small niche. And to be honest, I don't think it's gotten too much love as of late, just kind of something people play in sandbox here and there, but not too many people talk too much about it. Definitely wouldn't want to see that go, as well as it's just such a unique creature. Also, another question, with all due respect, Kissin, I'm actually kind of curious myself, what is the plan for the Maggie? Which the Maggie I will post here. This is a kind of a size comparison. It's kind of it's pretty small compared to its larger counterparts, but which is nice and probably hold a nice niche in there. I'm wondering if it's going to be quick. The Magyarosaurus, it's kind of, everybody kind of knows I'm horrible at pronouncing dinosaur names, but it looks kind of nice. This isn't their model by any means, but I kind of googled this and slapped this in here for people to kind of get an idea what it may look like and a size comparison to humans. So it's not a huge dinosaur, but it may find a nice place somewhere in the middle there. I'm afraid it's probably going to be Apex food, but I guess we'll end up having to see in the end. And her response is, it is not going to be slow or weak. So maybe seeing this guy kind of galloping along, watching its neck kind of bounce back and forth, that's going to be kind of interesting. We'll see how well that works out. I'd assume with the Utah and the Pounce, that might be quite useful as a food source with packs of Utahs and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting. But let's go ahead and move on here. So there was she stated that we are coming up on the roster several months ago. We had a number we wanted to hit, and we threw ideas around and settled on some that Dondi approved of. But as a show of good faith on his part, 2 dinosaurs will be chosen entirely by the team without any input of from Dondi at all. Maggie is one of them. So right there is the stating of the Maggie being one of those dinosaurs that the devs decided upon outside of Dondi. And the response was the other, it's Tenoto. Sorry, my bad. It's Tenoto, which is the Tenotosaurus, I believe. And her response was, did you guess or did someone tell you? LOL. So I'm going to say that as a semi-confirmation, which we'll get a little bit more on that here in a few minutes, which I will post a link of what that creature will look like. And I believe that is the other creature. The Tenotosaurus, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm horrible at pronouncing dinosaurs. So there's, on your screen there's that's concept art for the creature, and some looks like some attack animations, some possible attack animations with the tail slapping down on something that may be the size of a Utah, maybe Herrera or something of that sort, as well as a frontal attack and some kicking from behind, I'm guessing, if something is coming up from behind. So this may be a formidable creature for smaller predators. But yeah, kind of looking forward to that as well. That'll be probably a really fun creature, and I'm going to suspect it's going to be pretty fast. I would suspect so. Kind of reminds me of the Maya with maybe a larger tail, smaller, and probably more agile. And then from Kissin, we're getting all of our terrestrial stuff nailed down first. Then we can take on the skies after swimming. There's way more land-based creatures than flyers at the moment, so we will have to put our efforts there first. But it will have its day. Depending on what I discuss with the programmers, it may show up sooner. We'll see. And that was a response which I do not have the question initially, asking about flyers. And but that basically means that they're going in an order. So all the land-based creatures, then swimming, then flyers, in that order is what they will be working on. And this was another response from Kissin. I wouldn't necessarily say it's in full swing either direction. We're not trying for hyper-realism, and we're also not trying to build straight-up monsters all of the time. With our base roster, of course. We're trying to find a happy medium between fact and fiction where it applies. Some dinos may be more true to their fossil records, others may deviate from it greatly. It's a case-by-case basis. What forms our decision is the word you used, restrictive. If we feel restricted by the design, odds are we're going to go that direction. So basically, if it seems that if they feel they're basically going to have some creatures that are going to be outside of the typical, like what we're expecting them to be, and some may greatly differ from that. I'm guessing if the design is restricted by gameplay or so on and so forth. So we can expect some creatures to be how they're supposed to be and others to be a design of their own, I'm guessing, or something thereof. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into some of these concepts here. This is an AI creature. This is the Minmi, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's how you say it, Minmi. Yeah, and this is gonna be an AI creature, kind of like a small, looks kind of like a small ankylosaur. It's gonna be pretty small. I will post there should be a kind of a size comparison to humans, so we're probably talking something give or take the size of a taco or an oro, something for the creatures to hunt. I'm wondering, I'm gonna assume this thing's probably not gonna be too fast. It might be a little stronger than the taco or the oro because of the armor, but it's kind of nice to see. There'll be a little bit more variation within the AI, so that'll be nice. I wonder if it'll end up being playable as well. I have no idea at this moment. Here is another concept, the Hypsilophodon. I hope I'm saying that right, not butchering that, but there is a concept here on the left and something a little bit more complete on the right. To be honest, it looks really good. Like, I'm hoping that the model on the right ends up being very close to what they end up the finishing product with. That will be a really cool creature. That one is supposed to be playable. So that'll be a very interesting creature to play as. I'm going to assume, I don't know exact size, I do not have the size comparison on here, but that one I'm going to assume is a smaller creature. Maybe Herrera to Utah size, I want to assume. You can correct me down in the comments if so, but that is a really good looking creature and I'm really liking that. I'm liking the feathers. I'm liking the I don't even know what they call them on the top, like antennas or something. I know they're not called antennas, but it's, they kind of look like antennas, but it is a very good looking creature and I cannot wait to play this creature. This is a very, very nice looking creature, the Hypsilophodon. I'm probably butchering that, I'm sorry. So we can go on and we can move into some of the Troodon concepts, because I know the Troodon is one that everybody is kind of looking forward to, another smaller carnivore. And here is a original concept art for the Troodon. It's kind of simplified. It looks quite like a raptor, probably a bit smaller. I believe Troodon is smaller than a Utah raptor, maybe Herrera, or between a Herrera and a Utah, I believe. Not 100% sure on the size of the Troodon. I know it's not bigger than a Utah raptor, but it's somewhere between the two, I believe. And here is some more art. This one is a little bit more complete, but I don't know if I'm liking the blue or not. That'll be kind of cool if they, I don't know, if they glow or something, but these guys will be, I'm assuming these guys might have, I believe Troodon was a night hunter of some sort. I don't know why I don't have the word in my head. I'll get it later. Like 5 minutes later, I'll know the word. But I believe they hunted at night. If I'm not 100% correct on that, I don't know. But these guys are going to be very scary, I believe, at night. Kind of like how the Dilos are now currently. So these guys are going to be very interesting to watch, hunting in packs and stuff. I'm going to assume they're going to be a pain at night. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and, let's see, I believe there is I have a small animation. Sorry for the quality of the animation, but, and sorry for the quality of a lot of the animations and videos in this. I was kind of working with what I had, and since a lot of the stuff is time sensitive, so I just kind of had to go with what I had. So here is an animation of the Troodon, and that's going to be that's some idle animation and stuff, so looks kind of menacing. And now for a image of the Deinosuchus, which I'm pretty sure everybody has known about the Deinosuchus for quite a few months, if not probably a year plus. The Deinosuchus has been talked about endlessly by pretty much every YouTuber, pretty much every player, everything. This is just a juvie one, but as everybody knows with the info, and I don't even think it's a rumor anymore, but the Deinosuchus is supposed to be able to continue to grow as, it just keeps going endlessly until it's, I believe, well past apex size. So I'm going to assume that anybody who sees one that is not large will probably find it to be a prey item, while one that is, full size is probably going to be one of the scariest things in the Isle. So that'll be interesting. And now we have a clip, just a small clip talking about creatures that will basically spawn points and stuff. A lot of people don't necessarily like the spawn points. Have been corrected multiple times throughout the development of the Isle, as far as I've known, and they kind of have set points currently over the map. And this is going to be talking about basically creatures will be spawning where they're associated with, so water creatures with water, and creatures that have specific biomes and stuff. So I'll go ahead and let that play for a second.
In the new introduction of spawning, people will spawn closer to areas that they belong. So if, let's say, you spawned as the Dino, you're probably going to be near a swampy area, And to be fair, you may never leave that area.
And now for more of some of these concepts here. So this is a juvie, I believe this is a juvie Diablo. Juvie Diablo concept. This isn't really concept, but this is like, this is an animation of the juvie Diablo. I believe that's being reworked. And also the juvie Para, which has also been reworked, which a lot of people have seen the sexual dimorphism, where the female's head was it's I don't know, what was that called? The crest. I am so butchering everything. I'm sorry, guys, but I always forget all these type of things. But I don't even know what to call it, but I know it's like a vocal thing. It's kind of like that, which makes its noise that it produces. It makes it very deep and whatnot, and carry kind of like a trumpet or like some sort of horn instrument. But yeah, the females is more curved back, and the males is more straight back. Which I'm not showing that at the moment, but yeah. And then here's some animations of the juvie trike running, which has been shown off recently, and a animation of the trike morphing as well, which is really nice. With all the creatures, and there's no more going to be any more growing, so there's no more like clicking to grow when you hit your certain percentage, so you'll automatically be morphing into the adult creature continuously over time, which is amazing. Something I've been looking forward to for a long time, and I know has been talked about for quite a while as well. And some more with the Packy morph as well. And as you guys can see with the I see the horns going back into the head, and the frontal of the head is kind of just getting larger and more defined, with slight bulking on the body. It's kind of hard to see the bulking of the body, but it's there. There's a little bit there. I do see a lot on the neck though. As well as the morph of the Dilo, which the Dilo morph, it doesn't seem to get too much bulkier. It gets a little bulkier, but I see a lot more with the frontal crest and maybe a little bit growing on the yeah, mostly the crest, and the body bulks up a little bit. But I like to see that growing from the head, that it has just kind of slowly pops out. That's pretty cool. I don't want to like butcher this name of this creature, but this is the what is that, the Bipiaosaurus? If I'm saying it wrong, somebody, I think it's like Bipiaosaurus. I don't know. I haven't heard it spoken, so this is supposed to be another playable creature. I believe this is supposed to be the omnivore, if I'm not correct. I believe this is going to be the first playable omnivore, and there's the concept to the left, and there is a size comparison to humans to the right. So this is going to be a smaller, more entry-level creature. I'm going to assume it's probably going to be pretty quick, and as a little extra here, I went and looked up a creature, an image of, this is not anything official with the ISLA or anything, but this is something that might be closer to the finished product of this creature, which I'm hoping it has feathers. It looks really good with feathers. Kind of reminds me of a small turkey or a small theory. Yeah, it's this thing will be really cool, and probably one of the smaller predators, maybe Herrera or Ostro size, somewhere in that range, but quite nice. This will be something interesting to play as, and I'm looking forward to trying this one out as well. And for you guys, here's a list of playable creatures. Some of these are going to be playable, some of them are just going to be AI. As you can see, there's catfish in there, and which is probably just going to be a food source. And it has not been confirmed or not if the compy is going to be playable or not. I haven't heard anything about that. Somebody can leave in the comments if they know if that's going to be playable or not, but I believe that's just going to be a scavenger and AI, so probably not playable. As well as I see Trudon, and as well as, well, there's stuff you don't need to know about. Well, that's nice. Thank you for that. Which we're going to slowly find out about all that stuff here in the near future. And then on the side here, you can see that there was a Discord user that put on there the Hypsilophodon as playable. The compy, probably not AI, not sure. The Tentodontosaurus, I'm sorry, I'm butchering these, I'm horrible, sorry, as playable, and the Bipiaosaurus playable, Trudon playable, and Magyarosaurus as playable, and the Minmi as AI, which I kind of suspected as much for that one. It just kind of, I don't think it's going to be very useful as a playable creature. Maybe sandbox, you guys can have fun, maybe fill up a whole server or something someday with 200 minimies and wreak havoc on the map, eating everything. And now here is a clip. I will have some clips here. There's a couple clips of Dondi, and I will just kind of let them play, and some audio clips from the same thing, as the video clip kind of got destroyed, but the audio was still there, so I will let those play, and we will continue from there, showing more of this wonderful Recode goodness. And this first clip here is a clip of Dondi answering a question about the Ostro and the Berry kind of being confirmed that they're going to be redone. The Ostro is currently being worked on, or probably already done at this point, but being redone, as well as the Berry going to be redone.
Yeah, I did. Oh wait, we got a question. Gandhi, question about the finishing. Hold on, wait, this is a long one.
Fishing against some dinos. I suspect the Austral making the Recode PSR was already down with smaller fish. We implied the Berry. No, it's the Austro. It's just being redone. That's all it is. That far back. Yeah, no, it's not the Berry. The Berry's still the Berry. Berry needs to be redone.
You heard it here. Berry needs to be redone.
Yeah. That's fuck Berry.
And this next audio clip is from the same thing. Dondi talking about the different types of toxins, which I'm going to assume he's referring to dinosaurs in this, as opposed to, or dinosaurs and or creatures, as opposed to humans. As we get a little bit of that effect now currently with the Dilo, with its massive amount of bleed, is kind of supposed to simulate that a little bit. But in the future, there's supposed to be other venomous types of creatures and stuff, so that's more likely what he's referring to there.
Ooh, someone already figured out there will be different types of toxins. Oh, God.
This next clip is going to be Dondi talking about the Herrera and things that are going to be changing with the Herrera, about anger animations and whatnot, which will be kind of cool, going along with the very loud vocals that the Herrera has, so this will be kind of nice.
What are your plans for Herrera?
He's actually literally in the little incubator. He's getting a remodel. It's actually being worked on.
Actually being worked on.
He has... I don't even know if you want to call it a new lap. He has this new thing that we did with his throat that collapses and opens based on how pissed off he is.
So he, when angry, it expands?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some lizards even today like that. Yep. Big red or...
you see, we wanted to have it to where it changes colors, but not bearded dragons. They get black throat.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of...
And this next clip is another clip of Dondi talking about the food being able to be pulled from corpses, and which I think is going to be an interesting animation, which will be nice for all the smaller creatures when maybe like a apex of some sort, maybe like a Rex or something, gets a kill, and you know, you're one of those smaller guys that kind of just have to hang around and wait for the apexes to have their fill before you get to take your turn. This will give you an opportunity probably to kind of run in and snatch something real quick and run off, but I'll go ahead and let that play here.
Something. You're kind of like locked into this animation, so we thought, well, what if you could kind of like drive by, snack on something, and just yoink something out and then run away with it, right? So we made these little giblets so you can run up, fucking yoink, this is mine, and off you go with it, whether or not you eat it yourself or, you know, you fucking grabbed it for a pack mate or a kid, or, you know, as they say, neighbors free Wi-Fi. That's what that model is.
And as you can see, another morph animation of the Stego, and it's actually looking pretty good. I think as a complete model, I think overall it looks really nice. I haven't ever had a chance to actually play the Stego, so in survival I'll be looking forward to that. That'll be an interesting playthrough, but that's a pretty good looking model, and I'm really liking that. And now we have the Rex morph animation, and wow, you can see there's a lot of bulking up going on there with the you can see from how small that the Juvie Rex is all the way until it becomes an adult, it bulks up quite a lot throughout the center, and the head bulks up quite a bit as the teeth seem to get larger as well. Now for the pterodon, you can see that the head of it grows a lot. You don't see too much growth on the body, but there's a lot of action going on with the head. It elongates quite a lot. So I'm wondering if they're going to have any bulking going on in the body, or if that's just the finishing touches, because I don't see anything else growing with that. And here we also have the new Spino model, and my god, this is probably the most impressive thing I've seen so far with the well, at least one of the most impressive things I've seen with the Recode. This is a Spino walking animation, and I am impressed with the Spino. Like, I like the Spino model so much that I think the Giga and the Rex need a whole overhaul as well, which I believe, I hope so. I hope that they're getting one as well, but this Spino looks like such a magnificent beast. Honestly, I love the new Spino. Definitely puts the old one to shame. Thank you for redoing this, but please now do redo the others. But and now for some of the Utah stuff. I have a few clips here with the Utahs that I wanted to kind of cover here. Some of them have been covered by a lot of other YouTubers and stuff, but I figured I'd cover them anyways. It would kind of be incomplete. I'm kind of trying to do this as a complete, or not complete, but as complete as the content that I have for this video. Type of showing for the Recode. But here is some of the eating animation for the Utah, and I'm really liking that. The Utah kind of just tugs at the body, and I'm really liking how that works now, as opposed to the original just kind of bite and chomp type of thing. I'm liking that it kind of tugs and tears meat from the body. So I'm really liking that eating animation. That's really nice. And here is another clip with the Utah. I'm guessing this is a fishing animation, which of course I'm assuming is definitely not exclusive to just the Utah. But in this clip, you can see the Utah just kind of snatching the fish up out of the water and then dropping it at other places. So you'll be able to pull food. Like I'm guessing the fish are probably not bring too much food in there, but that's kind of nice. They'll be kind of like a little AI you can just snatch out of the water, as well as showing that clipping through the not clipping through the walls, which is another thing which will keep people from, I'm assuming, biting through walls to kill people or to attack people, which will be nice. So put some barrier between you and somebody else when you're behind something. And for the other one, which is probably the most impressive, I think, for the Utah, at least from my perspective, is the new Pounce. I really like the new Pounce. It's probably going to make Utah super dangerous for anything that's really small, because it looks like it just kind of incapacitates creatures. So hopefully there's a way for creatures to counteract that. But I really like this Pounce animation. It's been a while since we've seen the Pounce animation from like the old one, where they used to kind of just jump on the back of things and just kind of scratch them with their talons and stuff. Which I'm hoping that returns as well, but I haven't seen anything on that one yet as well. So hopefully that returns. I'll be looking forward to that if that ever returns as well, for something like the Utah to be able to climb on the back of larger creatures. And as a special treat, I kind of wanted to show something that has been shown off before on other channels, but something that I just love it so much. It is so freaking gorgeous. The Hypo Utah. And I will show that clip now and kind of let it play through, and you guys can kind of just judge what you guys think of it. But I think it is beautiful. It is probably, I would love to play this creature, and I think it'll just be a terror on the map. Anytime somebody sees it, it'll probably be extremely fast, extremely agile. I would probably be more scared of this creature than like the Hypocarno and stuff, just because they have way better turn radius and stuff that it'll end up having. So looking forward to seeing one of those, and hoping to not be on the side of that. Well, as we went through all of this, and hopefully you guys stayed with me on this, this is my first attempt at showing some leaked information and stuff, and there will probably be more to come in the near future. And yeah, there was so much content to go through, and I wasn't able to put everything that I had on here, but I put all the cool stuff and relevant stuff that has come out more recently as well. And I will leave you guys with the Hope trailer if you guys have not seen that yet. And well, thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.